Hello and welcome to another episode of My Life in Objects. So I thought it'd be interesting to do a very recent object, literally something that just turned up this morning, and I wanted to have a flick through of this while it's still literally fresh out of the package. I probably could have done an unboxing actually if I thought about it, but I thought I'd feature this in this episode. I'll be going back in future My Life in Objects episodes and covering other books which are related to this topic. So the book in question is called Strange Code, and the subtitle is Esoteric Languages That Make Programming Fun Again. And this is something that really interests me, like obscure programming languages, or even older languages that people don't use so much now. It's by Ronald T. Nussel, I think that is. I'm going to also include a link in the descriptions to a really interesting video I watched a few years ago. I think it's from quite a few years back now. Something I think it was called The Art of Code, which amongst a number of different things also talks about ESOLangs, as I think they're called as well. Specifically one called Rockstar. It's actually presented by someone who's not this author, a different person who's really interested in esoteric languages and a number of other things, but I'll include a link to that particular presentation because it's super fascinating. Anyway, I'll just, for the purpose of this episode, and try not to mess the book up too much before I sit down with a nice beverage and really absorb this book. Let's have a look through and see what it covers in case you're interested. This cost me something in the region of around, I think, $55 Canadian. So it goes through and does a review of just general, some of the early programming languages. So Algo, APL, Basic, PL1, Logo, Similar, Pascal, Prolog, Smalltalk, Standard, ML. And in the book, I believe it sort of groups them in a certain way. So I'm curious to see how it does that. And we've got a section on the essentials of programming languages, which always fascinates me, this idea, I suppose, of comparative programming languages. And you've seen books I have on that, or a specific book I have on that. So it goes through implementation, data types, structures, variables and scopes, program flow, programming paradigms. Then we have a bit about Turing machines and Turing completeness, some atypical programming stuff, but still not in the area of what would be considered to be esoteric languages. So things like Forth, Snowball and Clips. I actually have a book on Snowball, or Snowball, I suppose you pronounce it. I did do a small amount of programming in Forth when I was sort of dabbling with Forth in the 80s. Something called Clips, which I'm not familiar with. And then we get on to esoteric programming languages. So ABC, which I believe is one of the forerunners to Python. We've got Fractan, Piat, BF, Bifunge, and then some homegrown ESOLangs. So I'm interested in what considers to be homegrown. Is this one this particular author has come up with? I'm not sure. Filska, Firefly, and then going further and an appendix as well. That looks suspiciously like APL. Yeah, it is. I really like the layout actually of this particular publisher, these No Starch Press. I've got a really good, in fact they were the publisher that published the Rust programming language book, which is also available for free online. There's a little bit here about the Turing machine explanation. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to reading through this and where this is going to take me. As I've said, I've always had an interest in the history of programming languages and more obscure ones, but I feel I need to revisit that interest, and I am definitely thinking about doing some videos, or even just one video on an obscure language or more obscure languages, and maybe even how you set them up in Windows particularly. That's done, but yeah, definitely looking forward to this, and this is going to be definitely a book that features as an object in my life. And as I've said, at some point in future I will do a video on some of my other programming books, but that's something to look forward to. So thanks once again for watching. Bye for now, and I will catch you in a future episode.